So, jumping straight into this episode, this one starts off with the action. You see Nancy and Sid out here chasing this perp, and boy, is he doing the most. He is jumping off tables, off bridges, honey, running into things, running into people, trying to get away from these cops because he does not want to go to jail today, honey. He said, not today. Not today, boo boo. Period. All right. And he eventually gets stopped by being hit by a car. And I don't think there's no other way you can continue running if your leg is broken. But that's how the episode starts. And I just wanted to cover that because this is the funniest perp I've seen. Afterwards, we do see Sid, definitely a little bit paranoid, after her little meeting with Pinky and the Brain, checking her locks in the middle of the night. We see a steamy flashback scene with Sid and who I thought was going to be a knockoff of Mike Lowry from Bad Boys. They don't give us too much, so I'm sure we're going to have some more flashbacks. Jumping into what Nancy is over here doing. Ever since Nancy and Izzy had their little touching moment, their little talk, or not, we do see her ditching school, and Nancy does know, which I'm thinking, all right, if I would have ditched school, honey, who Nancy is trying to give her a little bit of space since they have had their little bonding experience because she's been through a lot. But it doesn't stop her from being concerned along with Izzy's best friend. Everyone's worried about her. She cut off her hair and now she's ditching school. I mean, what's next? Are you slicing your wrists? But fast forward, because we do get to see more flashbacks of Sid in Miami. Even back then, Sid was very hard-headed. I guess nothing has really changed. But it's interesting to see how her past in Miami led her to LA. And this past love interest is juicy, okay? And I definitely need more info on who he is or was to her. All right, but we'll jump into that later. Remember when I said that Sid and Nancy were going to be cooking up a plan to get rid of these drugs? So their plan to quote unquote deliver the package is not coming together the way they visioned because other divisions of the LAPD are stepping in on a certain drug bust that they were going to plant their drugs in to get raided. But I digress. And also in this episode, we do see Nancy gets a visit from her brother Nico, reminding her that she can't keep running from the past forever. All right? You see that Chocolate blows up Milk Chocolate's business about his little nuggets on the way, which I'm trying to find out why he didn't tell everyone already. That's normally a big deal when it's your first baby. Also, the Bens are getting a little suspect of Sid and Nancy's actions, but you also see their loyalty to Sid and Nancy regardless of the fact when questions arise from their boss about if he should be concerned. Well, what is going on with them? Why they're acting so weird? And Milk Chocolate basically tells him, ask them yourself, you coward. All right. And then moving on, we do have Mr. Joseph Burnett, who basically helping Sid break into the spot to plant the drugs before the raid team comes in. And my thing is, something had to have gone on to where he's going out of his way, putting himself at risk, at compromise, doing these illegal things for his daughter. All right, like father, like daughter. And am I the only one that thinks he could play the all-state man?
Are you in good hands?
Anyway, Izzy's outside field trip leads her to a prison. So obviously she wants to talk to someone so bad that she ditched school and lied to everyone around her. But I'll circle back around to Izzy because Sid was barely able to get away with planting the stolen drugs. And then afterwards, we do have more flashbacks seeing how she got caught up with this whole knock situation in Miami, basically. And we do see her ex-lover boss wanting her not to do certain things in this case in Miami. But of course, she goes against the grain. But you know what they say? Hard head make a strong ass. So let's circle back around to Izzy. She does get caught up with that fake ID in the prison she was visiting and ends up calling Sid to get her. But of course, Sid sends Nancy to the rescue. And we find out that Izzy was trying to see someone by the name of Alice. So moving on, Milk Chocolate admits that the reason that he didn't want to tell everyone about his nugget is because his wife has been pregnant before and has never carried to full term. And this is definitely a moment that got me a little bit choked up, a little teary-eyed. Sid uses a different tactic to help ease him into fatherhood from his prior experiences with pregnancies or PTSD. We do also see a scene with Sid and Joseph, her dad, an actual father-daughter moment between them. And this is the first time I've seen it. Normally it's just been business like. So this was good to see. But of course, when work calls, she goes a-running. All right? Their boss knows something doesn't add up with the raid that they did and all the fentanyl that was involved. So he is thinking that it has something to do with Gabriel Knox. So he asked Sid for her help on the case. And guess what, you guys? Guess who they bring to the table as well? Mike Lowry Jr. I don't know his name yet, but he finally shows up. So I was thinking this is going to be the last episode I do, but I might just have to give y'all episode 5. Just might, but we'll see. We'll see. But that was all, you guys, for LS Finest episode 4. If you guys like the video, like, subscribe, hit the bell. You already know what to do. I ain't got to let you know the instructions. You hear a million times. Y'all on YouTube all day, every day. Tailor made. Shout out to the baddies. Back to songs.